Since I've put a ridiculous number of hours into Escape from Tarkov, here's my top 12 fair dinkum tips for new players. Don't be afraid to use the offline mode. The offline mode is a risk-free area to learn the game as there's no consequences for failure. There's also no benefit, experience and loot won't count. This mode is purely to add to your knowledge. You can play with the AI settings to suit what you want to do. You can set it to be identical to online raids or add difficulty if you want to work on your combat skills. The extracts and loot spawns are identical to online, so this is a good way to learn which places you should rush to get specific items you need, or find the most expensive loot, and then where your extractions are. Always check your magazines. The most common mistake I see from new players, myself included, was putting the wrong ammunition into my magazine. .366 and 7.62 AKs both use the same magazines, and scavs will spawn with both calibers. You don't want to be relying on a mag you picked up without realizing it's loaded with the wrong caliber. If you're busy packing mags pre-raid, make sure you put a loaded mag in your gun. My most embarrassing death was because I forgot to put a magazine in my AK. Sometimes that crazy gun idea actually might just work. Don't be afraid to experiment with your guns. Two of my favourite builds were created purely because I thought it would be funny. I slapped a 4x sniper scope that cost 12 grand and I canted red dot onto an ADAR to be operator as fuck. And instead of it being ridiculous, it made the gun more versatile. Helped me take out sniper scavs and scavs hidden behind cover a lot easier. Get over your gear fear. It feels great to pick up a heavily modified rifle that looks like it belongs to a sci-fi, but letting it waste away in your stash isn't going to help you in combat or with room in your stash. Remember, each update Tarkov has wipes your entire stash. Sometimes a good gun can be the difference between killing a raider or a kitted player and being killed yourself. Experiment with that cool gun to see if it's a fit for you, but if you're too scared to use it, sell it and use the money for other gear. 5 guns you're going to use is better than one that looks cool and just takes up space. Some items have far more value than others. You'll have to wait till level 10 to unlock the market, but the market will, for a majority of items, give you the highest prices for your items, often double the price of the normal traders. As a general rule, any military items, suppressors and magnified optics are worth around 30 grand and up. Items with purple tiles are rare and generally have a higher value. Collect 1 copy of each key and sell your duplicates. Some keys are worth over $1 million. Scav on scav violence isn't always the best strategy. As a scav, your only benefit is the loot you get as you don't earn any XP for your character. When you're just starting out, scav runs are great for gathering resources, whether that be weapons or parts of the hideout. Scavs also act as a handy alarm. When PMCs are around, your friendly scav is the first to get shot, which gives you valuable information, like their direction, the type of weapon they're using. The only time I really kill scavs is if you've spawned with a tiny backpack and you can't find any dead bodies. Being able to grab a scav backpack and fill it with good loot, or get some really nice guns, outweigh the risk if you play smart against the scavs. Shoot more bullets. You might be wondering, why would I waste such a limited resource? Well, due to a variety of circumstances, it can take 5 shots to a complete magazine to kill an opponent. So take well aimed shots, but don't stop shooting until you see their body drop like a sack of potatoes. If you're not sure if you've killed them or not, just make sure that you throw a grenade or wait a minute before rushing. It'll save you some regret in the long run. Never trust strangers. I've made this mistake too many times. Even if they don't shoot you immediately, they're just checking to see if you're a solo player or not. Even as a player scav with nothing worth looting, other players will kill you as soon as it's viable, so trust no one. Anything in your backpack can't be hotkeyed or used. If your mag is in your backpack, pressing R won't reload that mag. Any meds or grenades in your backpack can't be used unless you open your menu. Remember, your tactical rig is for combat items and your backpack is for loot. Container life is best life. Anything in your alpha or gamma container, depending on the edition you bought, won't be lost when you die. So be sure to put any valuable loot in there so the sting of death is softened. When you prepare for a raid, put your meds inside the alpha. No matter the raid, you'll need meds. If you don't get any loot before dying, at least you didn't lose these valuable items. If you have a second monitor, use the Tarkov wiki for its maps. This can also be done with a tablet. The Tarkov wiki has some detailed maps that you can use to orientate yourself and know where certain quest items are. This is going to make your runs far more efficient when you're just starting out, especially on maps like Woods, which have almost no landmarks. Backpack stacking is mandatory. You're going to lose a lot of backpacks, which means you're going to need to collect a lot of backpacks. Thankfully for us, you can put an infinite amount of backpacks within each other. This is going to keep your storage nice and neat. This has been Fair Dinkum Dave. Have a good one.